don't you think that at least the base of your party, you have a 2/3 majority? When they watch the previous chair of this committee, they felt he was not very charitable. There are videos they say, for example, of he asking Suhini to go out. There was a particular time he wanted to ask a question. He didn't allow it. And he was very firm. And we didn't, but hold on, he didn't even have his members from his side challenging him. But in your case, sometimes you are on the vetting and your own people are saying, Chairman, why are you allowing this? Roxanne will get up. Sometimes the people from your side. So it seems as if in your case, your authority is being undermined.
No two situations are the same. And in every society, some are morally righteous, others are contrary. I say so because they should show one video that Joe Osei Osu was engaging in that kind of combative approach with Honorable Haruna Idrisu. Why? There is a way of treating leaders in every forum, even on the floor of parliament. For a stated reason, members are limited to speaking 5 minutes, but sometimes leaders are not limited. So, as a parliamentarian, I need to devise a means of handling the leadership of my committee, not to be combative. That is why the rules that govern the committee currently limit members to 3 questions with the supplementary at the discretion of the chairman. But the ranking member and the chairman doesn't have a limit to the number of questions they are also supposed to ask.
Let me read more questions for you. What happened at the vetting committee was not the best, but to be honest, if the minority is not in the vetting, most of us will not watch the ministerial vetting. How can I waste my time looking at someone saying, congratulations, take care of yourself? This is what most of the majority do. Rahman from Gambaga. Good evening, Bernard. My regards to Honorable Ahiafor. In fact, I'm impressed with his leadership style at the appointment committee. Please ask the chairman why the majority members on the committee are not asking questions. Aduanaba, Kwakwa, and Ponsa from Abekan Republic. Good evening and thanks for the good work. During the vetting, the ranking member made Honorable Samuel George read some words. I want to know that based on that, can a nominee decline to read something that is not of his own?
You see, unfortunately, at that material moment, there was a challenge that I have to go and take the chair from Mr. Speaker.
On the floor?
On the floor of Parliament.
Oh, so that was right when you were not there?
That happened when I was not there. So when another one was given to him, and he said, I'm not the author of this, I objected.
So this
is he's not.
So the St. Francis of Assisi thing, yes, you wouldn't have let him read it?
No, I wouldn't have let it read it.
But here you also say a lot of times, I'm the chairman. Why do you keep saying that? I'm the chairman of the committee.
Well, if members, particularly members on my left side, are not realizing the fact that I need to grant them space to speak, then I need to let them know that I am the chairman. So I have to grant you space before you speak.
Okay, go on.
I hear a lot. And if you are a leader, you need to open your ears very widely.
Yeah.
Opening my ears very widely, I can tell you that some people coming to the committee are there with the sole reason of coming to cause confusion.
From which side? From which side? Both sides?
Why would you put on your microphone when you are not even supposed to ask questions? When you are not even a member of the committee? What will then be the basis? And the committee has taken a decision that non-members, for good reason, non-members should not be allowed to ask questions. And you will just walk in. There's a deliberation going on, then you put on your microphone and begin to speak.
Fair enough. Since you are a man of quote, let me also give you a quote. You've been quoting a lot. You've quoted Montesquieu, you've quoted Hobbes. Margaret Thatcher says, being in power is like being a lady. If you have to tell people you are not. What's your comment on that in relation to having to always say, I am the chairman of the committee? And
well, it is not.
We don't do that here in Parliament. Keep quiet. Yes. It's like you're always trying to, it's like shouting people down.
Yes, because You see, we've started this vetting just after the new members of parliament have gone through some orientation. I also appreciate the fact that we need to carry them along. So things that we don't do in parliament, you should be bold to tell the member that what you are doing is not in line with our parliamentary practice.
I see. So in terms of
sometimes when I get at it, my voice is very loud.
So you've gotten that feedback.
Unknowingly.
You've gotten that. Is it anger that makes you shout?
No, unknowingly.
Because you're not today. You've been very cool.
Well, those who have seen me in court before can attest to the fact that that has been my practice.
You raise your voice.
That's been my practice.
You raise your voice to make a point.
Yes, that's been my practice.
By the way, so success for you is having Mr. President's nominees passed.
Yes.
Because you are also very clear on separation of powers.
Yes.
And we are very careful that we don't have a rubber stamp parliament.
Yes.
So even though you are from the same party as the president,
that is one of the things.
Your job is not.
That is one of the things.
Can I ask the question, please?
Yes.
Your job is majority leader's job may be to get the president's nominee passed, but you are there in that chair to ensure that a true and proper vetting is conducted.
Yes.
So going back to the initial point I made, speed may not be the issue, it's thoroughness. And that thoroughness requires that you put off a political hat and do an objective job.
Yes. So the conduct that I put up, assuming the people to be vetted, I am even opposition chairman. I'll still put up the same conduct because your responsibility as the chair is to ensure that whoever is before you, whether coming from opposition or ruling government, whether you like the person or not, get vetted in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, I allowed them to ask questions. My brother, the fact that we are in the majority, I do not want to display an inch of it at the vetting committee.
You don't want to use.
I don't want to use majoritarianism, the attitude of majoritarianism that we are in majority. No.
Why not?
That's why I carried.
But is that not why the people of Ghana voted? Your party members who comment on social media say they feel you are being weak because you have a 2/3 majority and you are allowing this micro minority to bully you. And they say when they were in minority, then people didn't give them any chance.
I know what it takes to have a consensus report, and I know what it takes to have a majority report. And all the people so far vetted are vetted. The recommendation of the committee was by consensus, and Parliament has approved them by consensus.
But does that matter?
It matters a lot.
What does it matter?
The difference is that if you don't manage to get them recommended by consensus, then when you come to the floor of Parliament, it becomes different ball games altogether, and sometimes you have to take a vote.
But you have a 2/3 majority. You have 184 MPs, another 183, 4 independents to support you, 187.
Can I ask you a question?
Feel free.
My president is supposed to constitute his cabinet.
Yes.
And it is in the interest of Ghanaians.
Yeah.
All of us, the cabinet should be constituted.
Fair enough.
And if the 42 that we have done, for every member of parliament, we'll have to take a vote. Do you think we'll be where we are?
Not for every, but at least for some, you may have to. But are you sure the minority would pass by consensus, Samuel George and Okujeto?
Well, we haven't gotten there yet.
It's clear from their push-out they won't.
Well, yes.
Even from me watching, we can tell they will not.
Very well. Even watching Amabua, people predicted that, and they really said.
But his vetting was different. Because he had a milder tone.
They really even said that they won't approve him by.
But your members are saying, even if they say they don't approve, so what? Because see, in the MPP time, Kojo Apon Nkrumah, I think a couple of ministers, Hawa Kumsin and Co, it went to a vote. The numbers in parliament were 50-50. MPP still had their people. You have 2/3. So why are you afraid of a vote?
No, it's not. I am not afraid of a vote.
So let the people, if they will not approve by consensus, so be it. That's what and this is what your followers are saying. I'm not the one saying it.
If you have a means to curtail that, why let it get there?
But the means is making you look weak. And the means is disconcerting and it's leading to fights.
It doesn't matter.
It's leading to furniture being destroyed. It's leading to speakers suspending people. That means it's not working.
You see, furniture being destroyed, speakers suspending people, I don't think it's as a result of the attitude that I have adopted. For instance, if I raise my hand to slap you and you put your hand behind you, very weak, that, oh, I'm not ready to fight with you, and I didn't slap you. Would I go ahead and slap you when your hand is at the back?
It depends on the kind of person you are.
I'm not prepared to fight with you.
So what are you saying?
Why will you fight when the person is not ready to fight with you?
But if the person is uncooperative, again, I'm channeling what your people are saying.
Thank you very much that you are saying that they are uncooperative.
Yeah, but isn't that obvious to you? I mean, you're sort of.
I'm happy that it is obvious to you and it is obvious to Ghanaian. What is the best approach of dealing with somebody who is not cooperative?
I don't know. So for you, no, I'm asking whether you are not concerned.
How do you get somebody who is uncooperative to cooperate with you? What attitude, what posture, what level of tolerance will you exhibit?
Do you meet them back door? Do you?
Why not?
Okay, last point on this. Again, we've heard people say during the vetting sessions, when there's a disagreement, I think it's only recently that I started calling for a break, because in the first few days, you were actually resolving the matter on camera. Whereas one would have thought you would say, let's take a break, and then you go into caucus. But it did not happen a lot of times initially.
You see, I always maintain that sitting down here, if I want to be combative, instead of vetting two people, I can cause one person to be vetted throughout the whole day if you also want to be combative. Here we are. If you want to argue one point, we can argue one point till the following day until one side have decided to give up. That is why I am telling you this evening that my approach was from the basis that you are inviting me, that two of us should go and fight and destroy my father's crops in the farm.
You don't want to destroy your father's crops?
No. But at least the wise.
So what do you lose if
the wise man?
What do you lose? What do you lose if the minority? Because I heard Ayariga say when there was a discussion about quorum that even if the minority side leaves, there will still be both a starting quorum and a deciding quorum. He said
when they left, we conducted business minus them. But let me tell you that on many occasions, they said plainly that they will not leave, but they will disrupt the proceedings.
And you allow them to do that.
That is what. Why are you speaking as if I hold their hand to do the disruption?
But they said they will be disruptive. They've told you their intention.
So,
and you are the chair.
My approach as a chairman should be in a way that will accord with common sense and reason and prevent them from this disruption.
You don't want to meet fire with fire.
No.
You don't want to call the marshal to walk them out.
No. It won't solve the problem. For me, it will not solve the problem.
So can all of this challenge be because foot soldiers on both sides?
I made a post
yes.
that give the man a long rope.
Yeah.
And then he will go and hang himself.
Do you believe that has happened?
I thought deeply about this. If I had been combative, the two of us are fighting. Probably the two of us would have been involved in this. This would have occurred long ago. And it would have affected the vetting. But at long last, you saw what has happened. Now people are saying that, is this Honorable Ahiafor all along trying to avoid?
Final point on this.
You see, it undermines the integrity of the entire parliament. So if you put up a weak attitude in order to protect the integrity of parliament, I think one day you will remain victorious for putting up that particular.
And I'm not advocating violence or anything. I'm just asking the final question around the base of parties. It seems to us who watch the program that the base of both NDC and MPP are influencing the posture of at least the two sides.
Let me confess to you that as we speak, Ghanaians are still angry about the past. They are still angry about the past. So some of the things that they post was from that point of view. But should we accept that and try to do that, to exhibit that, to satisfy that aspect of the feeling, Ghana will surely lead to distraction.
So you are managing a lot of that by being by not playing to that.
Yes, you have to. I listen to everything.
Apparently, keeps telling us it's from your constituency. He says it's on your hometown.
Yes.
Is this true?
Yes, it's true. The father.
So do you call him aside and speak to him and ever?
Why not? We speak. It's not fluent in the way.
But he understands the language.
No, I don't think.
You don't think it does?
Fully.
Is it frustrating you?
Well, I don't see myself being frustrated when I'm getting my results. Can you be getting your results and call yourself being frustrated? Assuming I'm not frustrated, it's leading to me not getting my results.
Then so you think at the end of the day, your results will indicate you, even though for them, people see you as weak.
Yes.
Have you always wanted a career in parliament? I ask this because when I look at the appointment of the president, a lot of them were ranking members. For example, Agboja was roads, he's now roads. Cassiel was finance, he's now finance. John Jinapor was energy. You were the ranking for subsidiary, constitutional, legal, and parliamentary affairs, which you can say is the shadow attorney general.
Yes.
So is it that you prefer the parliamentary position to a minister?
I have an attitude that I belong to a family. NDC is my family. And my family has leaders. And the leaders watch us from afar. So whatever responsibility that I am to perform for my party, I'll fit into it. So when the call came that I should be the first deputy speaker, first in 2021, which couldn't materialize, I welcomed the idea.
Okay.
And when 2024 we won and the call again came that I should be the first deputy speaker, I've not resisted it.
So you are enjoying the parliamentary work, the legislative work?
Yes, I enjoy the legislative work. You know, I have been saying that the core business of parliament is to legislate first before exercising the oversight responsibility. So if the core business, that's why they call us legislative arm of government, is to legislate. And I am in parliament and I'm not enjoying the legislative role as a member of parliament. Then why am I there?
Comment from Kojo Abuaji, can appointee be disqualified after successfully completing the vetting process? So, for example, can the committee, after you vet the person, write to the plenary and say, we think this person is not fit for the job?
It is only the president, the appointer, who has that right to disqualify.
Are you serious?
The person, to remove him. The vetting committee doesn't have such powers. You see, if you read Standing Order 217, all that the vetting committee is supposed to do is to recommend whether or not the person, parliament should approve the person.
That's what I'm asking.
The decision lies
Are you serious?
in parliament. That's why parliament does the approval. The committee's decision is to recommend.
I don't understand what you're saying. The president from the executive has nominated somebody.
Yes.
He's brought the person to
Remember, the law is that the person nominated or to be appointed by the president must be with prior approval. So our process is to do the approval. Now, parliament to be able to do the approval, have this appointment committee to do the vetting. And the appointment committee does nothing but to do a recommendation.
Of approval or not?
Yes, of approval or not to parliament.
That's my point.
So what is the person, what question is the person asking? After parliament has given approval.
Maybe you didn't get the question. The person says, can an appointee be disqualified after successfully completing the vetting process? So he's come through vetting, you've interviewed the person, and then when you go to the plenary, they decide against approving the person.
Yes.
So the answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay, then that's fine. I thought you were saying they can't.
No, once parliament has taken a decision not to approve
Fair
the
enough.
person.
Then I thought, then maybe I didn't answer the question.
Yes,
good.
That's it.
A Catholic priest, I won't mention his full name, says, this man is a wise man. He should keep up the good work. So for every 3 negative, you get 1 positive. So it's not too bad.
Very well. They are the jury out there.
By the way, what's the relationship between you and Mahama Yariga, Majority Leader?
Mahama Yariga is my senior at the bar. He's also my senior in parliament. I have a very good relationship with him. I wonder if a member of parliament can come and say that he doesn't have a good relationship with me. I will find it very difficult to understand. I relate to everybody the way I should relate to him. So I don't have a problem.
Same with Apenyo? You have a good relationship with Apenyo?
Yes,
okay.
I don't have a problem with him.
Okay.
Yes, I don't have a problem with him.
So when are you appearing before the committee? Because they said they are starting their hearings on Wednesday.
Yeah, the ad hoc committee. So I'll have to receive invitation from the committee stating the date and time that I'm supposed to appear. If really the committee will want me as a witness.
So how many ministers are left to be confirmed by the House?
Including the regional ministers, I think about 12 or so.
So which means you've done about 30?
Yes.
I see.
We've done approval for 30. And I think all the 30 that we have done, they've all been sworn in.
Can the 12 be presented to the plenary, the report be presented while this committee is doing its work?
Yes.
So this committee's work doesn't stop that process?
No, it doesn't stop that particular process.
So Tuesday you are going to plenary to present the report?
Once the report is ready, tomorrow we'll be presenting the report at plenary.
Would it be?
And the House will take a decision.
Why do you break the reports into chunks? Because I notice sometimes you do 2, 3. Why do you?
It depends. Sometimes you vet 5 people at a go.
Okay.
Now, when you're able to vet 5 people at a go, the committee is not able to generate the report on all the 5. So the one that is ready,
then you send that.
So
for this 12, you will break it into groups.
Yes, it may be broken into 2 or 3 groups.
Do you expect all of them to go by consensus?
Well, our recommendation will be by consensus because I haven't heard anything to the contrary.
Will the minority help to write the report on Samuel George and Okudzeto Ablakwa?
Well, once our report is ready, we'll go by the practice, giving a draft to the minority leader, and then taking an input, and we'll look at the input. If it is something that we should incorporate into the report, why not? We'll incorporate it into the report. And finally, the report will be signed. Photocopies will be made. It will be printed and distributed among members.
Because they didn't take part in the vetting of the Felix Kwachi group. The group, after they worked out, there were about 7 or 8.
Yes.
Can they contribute to a report that did not take part in the process?
If they want, they can contribute to it. If they choose not to contribute to it, that is.
But if you don't take part in the vetting, what will you be reporting on?
But nothing prevents them from contributing.
They worked out
a report
on principle.
Look at it this way. I may not be a member of a committee, but when the report comes to the floor, it is for the consideration of all the entire members of parliament. So as a member of parliament, I can look at the report and contribute without necessarily being a member of the committee, being there at the time the vetting was ongoing. I may not belong to a committee, but when they generate a report, for instance, I was not a member of the Lands and Forestry Committee of Parliament. But most of the time, with my knowledge in land law, they bring their reports, and sometimes I second and I contribute.
But not when you have decided to recuse yourself on principle. So what I'm trying to say is that it seems as if for the vettings that were done in their absence, you may have to present a majority report. That's what it appears.
Well, it is not a majority report in the sense that the members present have taken a consensus decision.
Interesting. Few final comments. There's a lot of times the minority that says the majority are not able to marshal their numbers. He says the maximum number he's counted on the floor is 104. Is that part of the fear for sending the matter to vote? Because we have 188 and 104 or 100 are coming.
You see, Parliament has its own way of working. And majority leader is a leader of government business. And I believe he knows what exactly to do at any point in time that we are taking a vote on the ministerial nominees. That's why we have the whip system. So the whips would have to join hands with the majority leader to whip members. And everybody will have to be. You know what happened to me before?
Talk to me.
I was traveling to Strasbourg to go and attend African, Caribbean, Pacific, European Union Assembly, representing government of the Republic of Ghana from Parliament. And I was supposed to be there with Honorable Anyimedu Enchi. I got to Amsterdam with the clerk of the committee, and I called him because we were to board the same flight from Amsterdam to Strasbourg, France. So he said he wouldn't be able to come. I said, he would rather come the following day. I said, where are you? Let's say he's in Ghana. I said, the idea was that you are in London and you are coming to meet us in Amsterdam. So I've decided to call home. I called only to realize that they will be voting on the e-levy the following day.
And you were in Amsterdam?
I was in Amsterdam.
With 137, 137?
Yes, with 137, 137.
And he went back to Accra?
And I needed to come down, and I really came down.
So you came down that same day?
Yes.
To vote on e-levy?
Yes, to vote on e-levy. Really. So when they cranked the whip,
you believe you have the number? Would you? But is it like the chair doesn't want? You don't want it to get to votes. As a chair, you think it's better for you to just go?
No, if you can build consensus,
why not? Let me end with two final comments.
Go to votes?
Good evening, Bernard. I'll be very happy if Channel 1 television will one day show Ghanaians vetting proceedings from 2001 to 2021 for those who couldn't watch, to appreciate and understand Honorable Chairman and the ranking member. I'm sure you agree to this. Bernard, I commend the chairman for his informed decision on the committee. You know, just as he said, he would be remembered some time to come for his deeds. Kindly tell him to have a way of making majority side ask questions and disallow those who do not catch the eye of the chair to speak. David Inebri. And then somebody wants to know, are the entourage that accompany the nominees even necessary? Why does he even acknowledge them? You know, any comments on that before we run off?
Well, it is a practice that I came to meet, that at every vetting process, people are invited to give moral support. We limited the number to 10, but occasionally nominees will walk to you that I have invited 10, but when this chief is coming, he's here with his linguist. So as I'm confronted with a situation where I don't know who should leave behind and who should enter, can you accommodate? So sometimes we say Parliament is a master of its own rules. This is not cast in iron. So we bend the rules, give them the announcement, and we've been able to conduct the vetting so far, and everybody is happy.
Finally, the speaker in that communication after the Thursday matter said a couple of things. That one, committee should be formed. It's been formed. Suspended the 4. They've been suspended. But he also said leadership should meet him immediately to reconstitute the appointments committee.
Well, I think the idea is that because of some sort of suspension, well, let me even state that the parliamentary committee itself is in the process of being constituted. So that one is also an outstanding issue, which you have to pick up with the...
You mean all committees?
Yes, most of the committees,
yes.
Because as we speak right now, we have a selection committee in place, we have a business committee in place, we have appointment committee in place.
Those are the only 3.
So yes,
the rest are being
left with the rest of the committees. And I believe, given the number of the minority, they are ready with their composition. I think majority is also almost done with it. So in relation to that, if after his ruling, he said that the leadership should come so that they work on the composition of the committee, that should not necessarily be interpreted to mean a composition of
so it's not as if he's trying to reconstitute this committee because of their misconduct. It's just because the 2 leaders are not part.
Yes.
The whips.
Yes. Because
so this is understanding.
I always say that, for instance, Parliament is made up of 276. One is in contention. So we are now 275. And by law, we need 1/3 to do business. And we need half of all the members to take a decision. Unless it is some decision relating to constitutional amendment, where 2/3 is required. So if 50 parliamentarians or 70 parliamentarians suffered suspension, do we mean to say that the 200 left
cannot work?
Is that it? No, that cannot be it. This committee, in line with Standing Order 217, is made up of 11 members. So if one from the minority and one from majority suffered a suspension, does it mean that 9 members of the committee cannot do the work of the committee? So those who are putting interpretation on the provision to the effect that once those 2 whips are not there, the committee can do its work. I beg to differ.
Can't do it, right?
That cannot fall in tandem with any interpretation that you can place on Article 102 and 104 of the Constitution of the Republic.
So have you met the Speaker yet?
And our own standing.
Have you met Mr. Speaker?
Yes, I have been with him.
So has the committee been reconstituted?
No, the reconstitution of the committee, I'm not part of the selection committee.
Oh, so that's the selection committee
Yes,
job?
that's the selection committee's job.
So tomorrow you go and lay the first report?
Yes, tomorrow we'll lay the 10th and probably the 11th report, because we have taken the 9th report and they are.
So 10th and 11th for tomorrow?
10th and 11th for.
How many ministers per
tomorrow.
report?
Well, I think the first one will be about 5 or 6, and then the rest will add up.
Wow.
So
we wish you well.
In all, we are expecting to give approval to about 12 ministers.
So you'd have cleared the 42 in 2 weeks?
Have cleared the 42.
And then when the rest come, you will deal with them as well?
Yeah, we'll deal with them as well.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you for talking to us. We wish you well.
I'm so grateful. And thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Bernard, my namesake Ahiafor, MP for Akachi South. He is also the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament and the chairman of the Appointments Committee, which is been covering, we've been covering for the past 2 weeks. Very exciting times indeed. He came through live to talk to us about their work. We hope you've enjoyed the show. We'll see you next time. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.